What is going on, my beautiful D.D.D fam? It is your boy Brendan, aka Drip, aka the Galaxy God, baby, is back with another video, and an in-person Galaxy Eyes video. It has been way too freaking long since I have made an in-person Galaxy Eyes video. It's just the format has been stale, dry, and we haven't really been able to play Galaxy Eyes competitively. So, until the new support that come out and stuff. But with the new support, this deck is at an all-time high in the terms of consistency, and I really like that. I don't think the new cards really boost the tier list of like the deck or its overall power. Yes, typically consistency means more power. I mean, that is just standard Yu-Gi-Oh 101, but like I still think the deck auto loses to the cards that it typically loses to in the form of Droll and stuff like that. And in some hands it's awkward and you can't really get to number 90 and under nib, so like it's very awkward in a sense. But nonetheless I really like it. I will say ahead of time, this list is not budget. This list is, I'll say it again, this list is not budget. This list is if you are trying to play the deck at its maximum potential and you're trying to play it at an event or against the meta. This entire list is fully fueled through 7th Tachyon in utilizing it as consistency plus the rest of the cards that we play and that we have had for a while. I am proxying 7th Tachyon because I'm not buying into that hype, but I still want to be able to get a list out to you guys for the people who do want to buy into it. Only reason I'm not buying into it's not really the fact that I don't think it's worth it. It's because if you are members of the channel and stuff like that, then you know that this year is like the year of the drip, basically. Every single deck that I like playing is getting support and they're all coming right after each other. So it's like, it's hard for me to keep up financially with this game because this game is ridiculously expensive, which you all know. So keep that in mind going in. If you are a budget player, then go ahead and click off this video. This is not a budget list. This is the maximum potential of this deck. I'm not playing the FTK either because I just think that's just stupid. I'm not running it. But to start out, pretty standard. You got 3 of your boy. I'm still on the ulti and the quarter century. I have my other 2 ghost rares in my binder. 3 of your boy, 1 in hand, 1 in grave, 1 in deck. That's the ratios, and it's always going to be the ratios. Moving on. 3 Galaxy Soldiers. This card is, for some reason, it kind of feels more important now than ever before, in the form of starters. Extenders, for the Galaxy portion of extenders. 2 Brave. You don't need 3. 1 new Tachyon Primal. You do not need multiple copies of this. I'll say it again. You do not need multiple copies of this. This card is just as bad of an extender as Afterglow is. It's just as situational. So it is not that good. So it is a good extender, but it's not as generic as like Brave or Vanisher or something like that. Only 1 wizard. You only need one wizard. 1 summoner, 1 cleric. I'm still on the cleric, even though like a lot of people don't like this card and don't run this card anymore. I still crutch on it, and you don't have to run cleric if you don't want to. I just think it's necessary because sometimes when we're pushing through the meta deck's boards, it uses a lot of resources, and sometimes we need cleric for the crackback in order to recycle our stuff, and the pot of greed is nice, but mainly need it for the recyclability. And then the last Galaxy is Afterglow, just 1 Afterglow. This puts, by the way, the cleric and the summoner puts me on 6 normal summons because obviously we're running 3 Delta Wings, so that gives me 6 normal summons, true normal summons, if that makes sense. That's it for the Galaxy portion of the deck. Now to the Photons. 3 Delta Wing, the best normal summon. Then I like 2 Vanisher for extenders. I know a lot of people drop this to 1, but I really like it because I just always want to have an extender. If that makes sense, I always want to have an extender, and I kind of wanted to match the ratios with Vanisher that I did with Brave, just so like I can have potentially just one of the extenders in my hand at a time. And then I'm still in one orbital. I think one is still necessary because you need the searchability, and sometimes the battle protection comes up once in a while. Because sometimes you can open awkwardly, and orbital can basically generically search anything you want. One jumper, you don't need more than one anymore, in my personal opinion. You just need to resolve this once and then you're fine. The deck with 7th Tachyon, like the consistency is like, because the 7th Tachyon gets you to where you're trying to go with this, but faster in some sense. But we are still using and utilizing the old combo the way that I like to play the deck with Galaxy 100 or Galaxy Soldier to pitch this and then get this effective trigger, get Galaxy Trance and stuff like that to play under your normal summons, basically. We're still playing that old line because that's the line that I really enjoy playing and I think is the most consistent way of playing under hand traps and stuff. So, and playing through Droll and stuff. So I wanted to still utilize that line. When you've seen my previous version, like version 1, I wasn't really utilizing that line very much. And I decided to go back to it just so I can play through more interruptions and stuff, like I said before. And then one Emperor. This is it for my Photon lineup. I like it. Pretty self-explanatory. 1-on-1's really nice, even with Bestials in the format. Like, if they hit them, they hit them. Definitely if they hit Emperor. If they hit Emperor, we have plenty of other level 8 extenders. Definitely with like Primal and stuff. So like, it's fine. It's fine. You need to set up your combo around it. If you're getting tunnel vision, then it's your own fault why you keep losing. Hand traps. I'm on 3 Fua, 3 Ash. This is it for the monsters hand traps. I would run Perulia if I own Perulia, only because like Galaxy Eyes can easily eat through boards anyways. So the ability to draw and keep drawing into our engine is really, really nice. That's where Fua comes in, and Perulia is not that bad either. If I had owned Perulia, I'd probably only run 2 Perulia. I wouldn't max out on it because drawing multiple like Fualis and Perulias is cloggy. Definitely if you draw like 2 Perulia, 1 Fualis, or vice versa, because like you only get to resolve 2, and ideally you only want to resolve like this and Perulia, so you get the extra advantage, and Perulia is really good right now. But right now I'm playing Ash to combat the Charmies, and it's just an overall generic hand trap, and this just, like I said, Fualis just draws us into our stuff, or it ends turns because people don't want to play into it, and if they end turn, then we just make Prime and kill them. And since I told you I was playing the old reliable combo that I like playing, and that means I'm playing 300. Yes, we only have 2 real targets, and I know I've mentioned in the past that I like to ideally keep this number ratio paired with the number of targets, but this can send anything. But ideally, we only play 3 of this because we want to see it, not really the fact that we need it post turn 1 or anything like that. Yes, I know we have a million different ways to search it, but why waste a search on this when it could search something better or something more impact, whereas where this is a starter, and more, it's a better starter than it is an extender, even though it can play the role of both. And then I'm playing 1 Expedition and 1 Trance. That's it for the Galaxy portion of the spells. I'm not running Numbers Last Hope anymore since I've gone back to the old reliable Trance combo line. The only thing that the Trance combo line cuts you off of is the Dragluxion line. But we're only running 1 Trance in the main, Transmigration in the main. So like you don't absolutely have to go that line all the time. The only time you have to go that line really is if you are you can't get to number 90 and you need to go that line in order to get a somewhat of a board established, more so than just number 90, and you're making 107. Other than that, you hardly ever go that line anyways. Another reason you would go that line too is if you were trying to add more follow-up in the form of adding a 7th Tachyon for follow-up. Other than that, you won't go that line. going first, you won't go that line. Now, if it's like a game 3 scenario and you are going first and you're siding in another transmigration and you're trying to get 2 in hand, search 1 off Primal and 1 off of Dragluxion or whatever, then that's fine. But if that's the case and you know you're going to go that line, then you obviously won't go the trance line with Jumper and everything else. So you just have to be aware of your hand and be able to map your combos out properly to be able to combat said hand traps or wherever you want. That's the way I try to construct this list, and that's the way that I like to play the deck. For more generic spells, I'm playing 3 talent because we don't have the ability to play 15 plus non-engine. And this card is just a Pot of Greed. It's a hand rip, and it's a steal, which is really, it comes up really nice, definitely against like YUGIOH and stuff. And then the last generic spell is Call By. Call By is just Call By. That puts our non-engine count up to 3, 6, 9. Damn, you're fine. 10. 10 non-engine, which you've seen my previous lists and previous explanation videos. I discussed that the maximum non-engine that this deck can play and still be consistent is 9. Granted, we're at 10 now, but I don't think 1 extra 1 is going to kill us. Definitely when we're adding in 3-7 Tachyon, I'll take those ratios and those odds, because our starter count is 300, 3-7 Tachyon, 3 Delta Wing, and 3 soldiers. So that's 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12 starters, 12 1-card starters, 12 1-card to 1.5 card starters, and a 40-card deck, which is relatively nice. Definitely when you're pairing it, if you're going second and pairing it with all your other extenders that pair well with, that can be starters when they're paired with other names. Like, what else? Let me see here. Brave, Orbital, Vanisher, stuff like that. Well, technically another 1-card starter, if you want to make it 13, is Galaxy Wizard. I forgot to mention him. He's technically your 13th 1-card starter. So you have 13 1-card starters, which is really, really nice. So that's why I opted to put an extra non-engine in. Then my proxies, obviously, 3, 7 Tachyon. 7 Tachyon is, this whole build is dedicated to it. We have a way to search literally every single thing in our deck that is engine based, because the way I constructed the extra deck. 7 Tachyon is absolutely disgusting, and when I can't wait for YUGIOH to die so I can be able to pick mine up for cheaper so I can actually play this deck. And then the last card in the entire main deck is the 1 Transmigration. You do not need to main deck any other Tachyon card. They're just not good, really. And you don't need any more than 1 of this going first. You can side the other 1 to 2 copies if you feel the need to, which I don't blame you if you would. You just don't need more than 1 in the main. Clean 40 main deck. And then the extra deck, I still opt to run 2 Soul Flare because I like to play my deck low to the ground. I know a lot of people have cut this all together and play the Swords Child. That card is ass. I hate that card. That card is dog shit because it just sets you up for failure and to lose the D barrier. And I try to avoid that thing with any of my decks that just auto lose to 1 cards like that, like D barrier and stuff like that. Yes, it's going to be hard for us to even play through D barrier with what we got now, but we could still potentially end on Soul Flare and something else, which is a pop plus hand traps if we play low to the ground. So like if we draw Ash, or like Talent, and they hit us with a hand trap plus D-Berry, we rip a card out of their hand, have Ash, and we can set up Soul Flare with a pop. So that's 2 interruptions plus follow-up. We could potentially set up follow-up too. So it allows you to play more than just getting FTK'd by a trap card. Also, I just like Soul Flare and its recurability. You know me, I play it low and slow because that's just the way I like to play. I don't like to play overly aggressive if I don't have to. And then the third link that I'm decided to play, I'm not playing SP for right now. I decided to play Lina. I'm proxying it because I've been meaning to get it off my friend Tanner forever, but he just hasn't been able to be at local, so I'm not buying it since I'm getting it off him. Lina is really, really good because there's a lot of light decks going around right now. YUGIOH, Fiendsmith, Blue Eyes. Taking your opponent's Blue Eyes and then overlay with it, because since it's an 8, feels really good. Dist, crashing into something, searching any of your starters, whether it's Delta Wing, or your recurability with Cleric or whatever is really, really nice. Stealing your opponent's detonator to equip something to give yourself a pop and it is really, really nice. It steals detonators. It does a lot for you. So Lina is really, really good. That's it for the Link monsters. The rank 4s, we got one Galaxy Photon Dragon, one Star Liege. You hardly get the privilege to make Star Liege anymore because there's just not enough gas anymore. If you resolve the 7th Tachyon, because like you have to make an option if you want to go for an extra 8 or you want to go to a 4. Maybe eventually we'll get some more gas to where we can potentially make all of it. But right now we just can't. One Photon Lord, you only need one right now. You only need one anyways moving forward, I think. Standard Tachyon or whatever. It's obviously for the combo line that you decide to go for it. One Hope Harbinger, one Punch in the Face for game, C6, number 62. One Mr. Steel Girl, one Cypher X. This basically is what we can go into besides Star Liege if we want the targeting protection. If we feel the need to have targeting protection, we just go into this. And then one 107. I finally get to play my ulti I've had for years now. I will get the QCR eventually, but right now I'm just having fun with my ulti. And then the other two, there's two other, this is our level 8 target for 7 Tachyon. Then we have a rank 4 target, which is number 102, Century Seraph or whatever his name is. I'm proxying him. And then a rank 5, which, because this, reveal this, the rank 4, and it searches all your level 4s. You reveal this, and it's 8. You search all your level 8s in your deck. And then the 1-5 I'm running, which is number C102, Archfiend Seraph. You reveal this, and you basically search Galaxy Soldier, because Galaxy Soldier, like I said, it just, I don't know what it is about it. It just feels like that card is more mandatory now than ever before in the form of being a starter. Definitely after you've already made Photon Dragon rank 4, because like you ideally want to make Photon Dragon first with the combo now, and then drop Soldier after it, so you can make Soldier a rank 8. I mean a level 8 or a level 4. But if you can't get to it and you still need to start with like you draw the there's several hands where I was playing, I drew Emperor and Jumper, so I needed to get to a Galaxy Soldier to be able to pitch one of them to proc, to be able to trigger it, to make it be able to get the rest of my effects. So I went like reveal, went 7th Tachyon, reveal this since it's a 5, search Galaxy Soldier, pitch, and proceeded to go full combo. It's just 7th Tachyon ties in everything into the deck. Yeah, you have you'll never be able to make C102, but every now and then you could potentially make regular number 102. It only requires 3 level 4s, and obviously we play enough level 4s where we could potentially make it. You probably won't ever make it, but you can actually make it. So like C102 is just here for one reason only, and that's to get us access to Galaxy Soldier, which is fine because it's just one slot in the extra deck, and the extra deck's fairly open. Yes, we lose out on a lot of utility, but if you know me, then and you've been around for a long time, I say it every time. What is my motto? My motto, say it with me: consistency over utility. Because with the consistency, the utility is not really needed as much, because you can, majority of the time, because you can just push through everything. So I would rather sacrifice some utility, like big number C62 and my baby full armor and Cypher Blade and all that. I would rather sacrifice that to be able to have consistency, to be able to get to my end board, than think about how I'm going to be able to break their board to be able to make my board. Because I feel like if I have consistency to get to my board, then I can play through their board, if that makes sense. And then the last card in the deck is Typhon. Yes, I know this kind of conflicts with the rest of our deck, but we can make it very easily going second, because our opponent's obviously going to play into it. And if we need to, we can link it away with Lina later on in following turns or whatever. It's just a generic breaker. Excuse me. Another thing I wanted to mention, there's an argument to be made since we're running Lina. Lina can use tokens to make her. There's an argument to play Sanctuary again. I just didn't want to go over 40, but if you want to run 41, or if there's something that you want to swap out in this list to give Sanctuary a try, then by all means go ahead. It's just, I'm not running Sanctuary because Sanctuary is only good if you have Orbital in hand. So if you're one of those people that want to run multiple copies of Orbital still, like 2 or 3, then maybe give one Sanctuary a try, because you, like, outside of making Soul Flare or specialing GEPT from hand, you can make Lina with Sanctuary, which is disgusting, and it can come up from time to time. So I'll leave that up to you to play test and do whatever you want to with. But that's actually it for the main and the extra deck. I don't have a side deck built for you guys. If you want to know about that, then just hit me up on the Discord or the whatever. But I try to save all that stuff when I don't have side decks built, because it's not a tournament list. I try to save that for my Patreon. So by all means, check the Patreon out and everything else down in the description as well, if you want to become closer to me and what all I like to do with this deck or other decks too. So I appreciate you guys for stopping by and checking this list out, and it's been a long time coming for me to return to Galaxy Eyes, but I hope you enjoy this list and this version 2 of the deck. Be on the lookout for future content, whether it's Galaxy Eyes content, Blue Eyes content, Orcus content, or any of the decks that I like to play that you've seen me profile, or just anything in general. I'm going to try to be pumping out some content here soon, here moving forward. And I love you guys so much for checking this video out. It's your boy Brandon, aka Drip from Team D.D D, signing out the next time. Peace. Good dueling, my guys. I love you.